let's talk about your collage. Okay, I want you to make two separate collage, and you choose one for the painting. It's good to make two different collages rather than only one, because you have all these cut materials from different magazines and newspapers. And I know Tricia is just printing out from internet because she said there's no magazines. That's fine. You can still print out from internet. That's fine. But just it's good to have something as a big background. The reason of having big background is often if you just use like this, people make too much white space and often not enough color area. So it's good to have some big background. But if you don't want to have a big background, and if you want to just make things very much close to each other, and you don't want to, instead of having a big background like that, that's fine too. That's fine. My sample is actually like that. My sample here doesn't have a big background. It's all clustered as one big chunk, right? So that's fine. As long as you have less of 20% of white space, I think this one has more like 30%, but that's still fine, okay? So, so it's really up to you, but it's good to work on two different collages, okay? Because sometimes you may have more choices by having two areas. So like you can have this one here, but it doesn't stand well. Maybe I can move it here, so that makes it much more visible, right? And something like this, you may want to make it here, but it looks like it's a little, again, too similar value. So maybe I should move it here, for example, so I can have this with a different color contrast, for example, right? And also start to think about content too. What you are interested. If you are thinking about some very funny, unusual juxtaposition of different elements like landscape and this fashionable lady, maybe that's what it is. Or maybe you want to make it more cohesive. Maybe she belongs to this kind of urban space. So maybe she should be there instead of here, right? But I kind of like that, you know, she doesn't belong to this landscape, but somehow she's there. That gives kind of interesting juxtaposition. And maybe you can think about what's the story, why she's actually against this landscape, okay? So first stage about collage is just to keep cutting things you are interested. Okay, but at the same time, you think about this will be a value and color assignment. So if you have so minimal amount of tonal value, say everything is the same darkness, it doesn't work well. I want you to have variety of tonal value from very light to very dark. Okay, and also enough shapes. I want you to think about enough shapes. If everything is square, everything is rectangular boxes, that may not be interesting enough. I want you to have some kind of a contrast and variety of shapes like this. Okay.